Through conversations with some of you, as we have reflected on our strategic priority of a mental health program for youth and young adults here in Dalhart, and as we have reflected on what ministry with those struggling with mental health could look like, I'll be honest, many of you have expressed feeling totally unprepared to make a meaningful difference. When looking at the challenge of mental health, it is easy to feel overwhelmed or to feel that there is not anything of significance that we could do to make a difference. I want us to reflect on what we can do. I also want us to have the courage to not spiritually bypass those who are wounded and hurting with superficial spiritual platitudes, but to have the courage to sit with and hear people in pain. In Genesis chapter 21, verse 17, we heard, God heard the voice of the boy. God didn't start with answers. God started with listening. This is profound because many of us want to fix pain, and still others, out of the uncomfortableness or feeling that we need to say something to break the silence, offer programmed spiritual platitudes that keep us from getting close to another's pain. Someone says, I am hurting, and we immediately reach for advice, explanations, theology, solutions. But the ministry of presence begins differently. It says, tell me where it hurts. The great spiritual traditions have always known what modern trauma science is rediscovering. A wound carried alone becomes suffering. The word compassion means to suffer with. Pain witnessed with love begins transforming. This is the role of the church. Not every Christian is called to be a therapist, but every Christian is called to be a healing presence, to sit, to listen, to pray, to remind people you are not alone in this wilderness.